Hey guys, I'm majicDave. This is Ambience. So yeah, I've been quite busy over the last couple of weeks. Thought it was time just to do another little, probably shorter video this time. So yeah, first thing you'll notice would be that there's a little display at the top saying what you're looking at. So that's just, I was just trying to figure out, I guess, how I would convey to the player that they're looking at something. I did have a bunch of particles, you might remember in some of the earlier videos. I decided they were very distracting and I didn't really like that, so yeah, I've got that now and it actually says what you're looking at. Everything's got kind of a unique ID. If you look at a particular triangle, it's I don't want to go into too many technical details and bore everyone, but yeah, I've done a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that everything's kind of set up and ready to go for the next step. So there's a bit going on over here. I've been working on animation as well. So I wrote a file loader for the GLTF file format. So all of these objects are now using GLTF instead of OBJ, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that format actually. I mean, it's complicated and it was a pretty tricky process, but yeah. So I should just talk about what these guys are up to. So I've made 4 little test animation frames in Blender, exported them out, and it's just interpolating linearly between random keyframes basically, and this is all very this is not a proper animation. This is not going to be in the final game. The model itself, that's not done either, but I don't know, the model's kind of getting there. It's sort of heading towards the idea that I had. Whether I stick with it, I don't know. I still don't even know if I'm going to actually have people, so. But they are, they've got the caveman thing going on. That's sort of in line with what I'm planning for the game. So, I kind of want you to take cavemen kind of level technology and move on from there. So that's why I did a caveman. So I guess we'll see whether that stays like that. But for now, it's just a proof of concept that shows that I can now have animations. I'm really looking forward to getting these guys actually walking around. That's probably one of the next things I'll do. But also over here I've got some cubes. Now these cubes came from me chopping down a tree, which I can do over here. So yeah, you won't be able to do this directly, I don't think, in the game. The idea would be that you click on it and it marks it for chopping down, and then one of the guys nearby will come over and chop it down. When it chops down, you get a bunch of cubes. So it's correctly identifying what the cubes are up there, as you can see. So this is a birchwood cube, this is a mulch cube, and the idea being that for any kind of building or factory or any kind of processes nearby, the people could just gather them up from wherever. Once you've chopped down a tree, this is now a resource that can be used nearby for whatever it is you're trying to do. So yeah, I guess that's so. What you're seeing there is that I'm not saving out the actual positions of these cubes when you leave the place, but I am saving out that the tree's been chopped down and that the cubes, I'm saving the initial positions of when they were created. So what I have actually done is to implement a database behind the scenes. All the state is now saved, not correctly, as you can see with what happens when I come back and they all fall again. There we go, that one just did it as well. But again, proof of concept. I've got world saving actually working. I've got a database backend, and all of these guys, if I exit the game and come back, will be here. They're actually in the world now, and if you remove a tree, it stays removed. One thing that's quite different in Ambience compared to blockheads is that it will only save out the changes that you make and not every single part of the world that's ever been loaded. So in blockheads, as you explore, it generates the world and then exports out what it generates and saves it to disk. which means huge file sizes. It means networking is kind of slow. Whereas Ambience, it will only save the changes. So, all these triangles are just generated on the fly on the client in a multiplayer situation. But when you remove a tree, it saves a single entry into the database saying, next time you load this area, don't load that tree, basically. And because everything is, all my random values are sort of deterministic, it can be sure that there was going to be a tree there next time it loads it, and this time don't put it there. So that's working. That was sort of a complicated, or it could have gone wrong, I suppose, but it turned out to be relatively simple. So I'm pretty happy with that. What else? I've tweaked a lot of the lighting again. I just keep doing that. Just make it more dynamic. Just when I started adding these guys in, they didn't look quite right. They weren't getting lit right, and I don't know. One thing that I've noticed is, actually, I'll just go in here. Oh, I've already done it. During the day, and especially near the tropics, if the sun was quite high in the sky, it was looking a bit bland. So I've tried to improve that, get the colours kind of working a bit better. I also made it so you can just click to place guys. They have a physics. They're just a physics box. It knows that you're looking at them. And they collide with each other. They collide with other boxes. I don't know if I'm going to have ragdoll physics or whatever. Probably not. But the idea is that I'm going to have probably, I don't know. I really want to have a lot of these guys around, and you're not going to have one or two. You're going to have a lot, so it needs to be fast. So I've been working a lot on performance. Everything I've done has been very kept performance in mind, really. I mean, you have to when you're making a game, but even more so when you're talking of this kind of scale. So the animations are all being done on the physics thread as well, and then getting passed along to the main thread. So the main thread is not doing very much. I think in one of the earlier videos I said that I had quite a few different threads going on, whereas now I've just got two, basically. I've got the main thread, which is doing all the rendering and the user interface and the player movement, and then I've got another thread that's doing all the physics, updating all the animations, doing all of the placing of trees, objects, and terrain generation. So pretty much everything other than just user interface and rendering. So it's working quite well. It's not using as much of the available CPU as it potentially could be, but it's a bit simpler to work with than what I had before, which was like four different threads. So I'm a lot happier with that. So as I kind of think I said before, I really want to get it so that you can, instead of chopping down trees directly, that you're queuing it up and they're coming and chopping it down, and then doing something with these blocks. That movement there is sort of me starting to think about getting them to pick up the blocks, and I think that's going to be cool when they're just leaning down, picking up a block, carrying it over, and starting to build something with it. And of course, that's a huge thing that I have to figure out, is what is the building mechanic going to be. I've been thinking about it. It's a very difficult problem, and it could take a few different sort of prototypes to get right. So I don't know, I'll start working on that soon too. But first I've just got to tidy up these animations, and just do a bit of sort of cleaning up after what's been a pretty brain tiring few days getting this animation stuff working. So that's where I'm at. Cool. Catch you next time.